and he was pretty close to it being 23 seconds for this one.
Yes, indeed. Well, you know, there's an old saying, a boxer can only beat what's put in front of him, and he's just got the job done in style.
My job is getting to the ring and fighting whoever they put in front of me. Even if they said, tomorrow you're fighting King Kong, I'll be like, no problem.
Considerable punishment, and there was nothing coming back. It's another very, very brief view.
Too much of that left hand. Bring your feet in, get close, then throw the shot.
But that was better when the second it was a little feint.
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, Ken England.
Who've got their eyes on you as being the next big thing.
Dangerous man to share the ring with.
I don't know who I'm fighting next.
We've got a big opportunity potentially in May.
Moses Itauma. At only 19 years old, he's already drawing attention like a wrecking ball in a glass house. They claim he strikes with the fury of a warrior, the sniper's timing, and the killer's chill. Some even had the audacity to wonder if this is Mike Tyson.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think if my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed
Tyson's second coming. The start of a beast born in England to a Samoan family, Moses Itauma grew up surrounded by strength, tenacity, and discipline. From an early age, he wasn't only larger than other children, he was sharper, quicker, and more concentrated. While others were playing computer games, Moses was studying fight films, shadow box.
The later rounds, that's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Sing in the mirror and trying to perfect the sweet science. He had boxing in his blood and something even more unusual in his soul, a passion to destroy, but with purpose. Trainers saw something unsettling from his very first sparring session: the footwork, the precision, the ability to slide, turn, and counter with venom. He wasn't simply throwing fists, he was contemplating devastation. Before he went pro, Moses Itauma had earned a name throughout the UK and worldwide circuits. In the amateur level, he was invincible, undefeated, relentless. The 2022 Youth World Champion, gold medalist, a strong southpaw that made seasoned boxers seem like novices. By the time he left the amateur scene, there was only one thing left to do: enter the professional world and show everyone that the hype wasn't hype. It was prophecy. January 2023, Itauma walks into the ring for his professional debut. The bell rings, and only 23 seconds later, it's done. His opponent is lying down on the canvas. The crowd hardly had time to blink. He didn't simply win. He made a statement. I'm here, and I'm not here to play. Fight after fight, he proceeded to shred his opponents with surgical savagery. Some didn't last a complete round. Others struggled to survive, but Moses went through them like a lion through grass. Cold, calculated, controlled. Let's talk about the weaponry he carries into the ring. First, the jab. It's not simply a rangefinder, it's a piston that sets up the mayhem. Then there's the left hook. Vicious, fast, accurate. When it lands, it's like a hammer hitting glass. And don't forget the footwork. Slippery, fluid, and explosive. Moses fights like a lightweight stuck in a heavyweight's physique. But overall, it's his serenity that's genuinely unnerving. Most young boxers become thrilled. They hurry. They lose control. Moses? He's icy cold. No emotion, no wasted movement, just sheer disaster ready to unravel. Now let's confront the elephant in the ring, Mike Tyson, Iron Mike, the youngest heavyweight champion in history, the baddest dude in the earth. It's a tremendous name to be compared to, but the similarities keep coming. Why? Because much like Tyson in his early years, Moses is ending bouts before they ever start. Because, like Tyson, he's got that unique blend of speed, power, and lethal instinct. And much like Tyson, when he enters the ring, you sense the tension in the air. You know something violent is going to happen. But here's the real question. Can Moses Itauma not just be like Tyson, but build a legacy of his own? The mind of a champion. Moses Itauma isn't only physically talented. Mentally, he's a beast. He studies, he trains, he loves and breathes boxing. He's surrounded himself with the proper people, avoids distractions, and concentrates fully on progress. He's not hurrying. He's not calling out top 10 fighters irresponsibly. He's constructing, brick by brick. In interviews, he's calm, confident, and respectful. But when the gloves are on, he morphs into something else. Something primordial. Something deadly. So what's next for the young lion? The major names are watching. Promoters are murmuring. Fans are buzzing. But Moses Itauma is keeping locked in. The heavyweight class is filled with giants, but there's space for a new monarch. One who brings the old-school devastation with new-school discipline. One who doesn't need trash talk to promote a battle. One who lets his fists do the talking. As the years go on, the problems will grow greater. Bigger names, smarter opponents. But if Moses continues traveling this path, if he keeps polishing his sword, keeping humble, and staying hungry, there's no knowing where his ceiling is. Could he be the next big thing? The history of boxing is filled with hype trains that never left the station. But Moses Itauma is constructed strangely. This isn't a trend. This is skill, supported by hard ethic, backed by killer instinct. Mike Tyson was a once-in-a-lifetime fighter, a whirlwind of violence, a cultural force. Can anybody ever genuinely be the next Tyson? Maybe not. But Moses Itauma doesn't need to be the next Tyson. He's making his own way. And if that route leads to gold, to legacy, to dominance, then he won't be known as the next anyone, but as the first Moses Itauma. Final thoughts. Remember this name. We're seeing the birth of something remarkable, something unusual. A boxer who doesn't simply punch hard, but hits wisely. A fighter that respects the game yet puts terror back into the division. Moses Itauma isn't merely a potential, he's a menace. And soon, the world will have no option but to pay notice. So, if you're a boxing fan, remember this name, because years from now, when the belts are around his waist, when the arenas are packed out, and when knockouts are going viral, you'll want to claim you saw it coming. The most terrifying boxer in the world is just getting started. Moses Itauma, the future of heavyweight boxing. Cue explosive highlight reel, slow-motion punches, knockout footage, and a hard-hitting soundtrack to conclude it. Boxing Pulse produce amazing videos for you. If you loved this discussion of boxing's next prodigy, press that like button, slam subscribe, and ring that bell for more fight game content. Drop a comment. Do you believe Moses Itauma can become world champ? Is he the next Tyson or a different beast entirely? Let's discuss boxing. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remain sharp, stay hungry, and keep your hands up.